Welcome everybody to the Wednesday, October 18th, 2023 Aladdin DAO Community Call. We've got a good crowd here. We got the whole gang.
We got the whole gang and then some. Lots of folks showed up. Welcome to everybody. Thanks for coming out. And we've got Aladdin stuff to talk about.
Boy,
as
howdy
always.
do we.
But it's listen, I don't want to, like, some weeks when we say we've got stuff to talk about, I'm straight up lying. And
yeah,
it's just, there's nothing to talk about. But this week, I'm telling the truth.
This week we've got all the bullets in the chamber, baby. We're ready to go.
Yeah. All the bullet points in the chamber, right?
Yeah.
Because it's bullet points on the agenda.
There you go. There you go.
Is this thing
Very
on?
slick.
Okay.
Oh, dang it. I don't have the soundboard up. Dang it.
Oh, get it up.
Okay.
Get it up.
Okay. Hang on. Hang on. Just for... There you go.
There, I found it. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so let's kick it off with FX. Everybody's favorite protocol of the moment, FX.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, we don't choose favorites, protocol wise. I mean, it's like children, right? They're all your favorite.
They're wonderful. They're all delightful.
Some are more favorite than others, but all right. F of X. The booster round has closed. The first booster round for F of X is closed. Yay! Like big. Is there a
yes?
Yeah. I was going to try to find a clapping.
There's one
sound.
There you go.
It's a golf clap. I was looking for more. Anyway, we've got the first booster round in the books. We had voting from all corners, and as we discussed last week, just so many different ways to exercise governance power. Kind of funny. We are, as I mentioned last week, still kind of thinking about ways to try to streamline that a little bit for you guys and make it a little easier to sort of understand where you can vote and how.
We're aware of like how daunting it can be, and especially like us when we're like, oh, there's quite a few ways you can get involved here. So we're aware of it. We're going to try to keep everybody on top of it. So just
and one of the things I want to call out for the booster round, because we tweeted about this, and I kind of like I highlighted it in another tweet, but we got to talk about this. This is so cool. The F of X boosters now, and if not now, I'm not actually sure. I'll have to ask Charlene when the deployment is scheduled for. We'll have the ability to lock your unvested FXN tokens into either Convex Liquid Locker or Staked Out Liquid Locker. And you can do this once this is deployed. You're going to be able to do this right through the user interface. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how this works. Because first of all, I always brag about Aladdin's vesting contract, because I've seen it done so stupidly so many times when it just needs to be simple and clear. And our contract does that. It's amazing. Like this is for like regular vesting of tokens. If you need to vest something over 6 months or whatever, low gas, low fuss. But we've added this second feature now to these FXN vesting contract, which allows you to lock your underlying tokens into Convex and Staked Out and actually earn yield on them while they're locked. And this is 100% on chain. So basically the way it works is that you're going to go to the UI and when you choose to lock your tokens, anything you have not yet claimed, whether vested or unvested, anything you've not yet claimed, if you run this transaction, will be locked, and then you'll end up with the locked amount and earning those and earning that yield. Only thing that you don't get from your locked vesting FXN tokens is voting power. Like you don't. That was. Whether there's a principal reason you should or shouldn't, there's a technical reason you can't, just because the actual voting power accrues to the contract that everything's locked in, and it doesn't. We're not implementing the ability to vote with your FXN before you claim it. So if you want to vote with it, you have to claim whatever you have vested, whether that is FXN directly to lock with VE or CVX FXN, SDFXN, one of those. But really, like, I love this kind of stuff. This is like a quality of life thing. This is how do we, the purpose of vesting is to make sure that there's not like a glut of tokens entering the market all at one time, right? We're all about, as much as we can, we want to try to massage the way Aladdin native protocol tokens hit the market, so that it's minimizing volatility there, right? We don't want the big drops, big spikes. We're trying to kind of cut that stuff out, and that's what the vesting is all about. But to be able to still give people that revenue share right off the bat, to me, it's chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think I think it's going to be pretty popular. I think. I mean, the ability to earn yield on your kind of your vesting tokens is like pretty exciting. I mean,
well, and if you're planning on sitting in those and just using your FXN to earn yield, basically as soon as you get your booster allocation, you can swap in. And again, to be clear, you can do it at any time. So as soon as we roll this feature out, it'll be available even if vesting has already started. But the ability to be able to do that, if that's all that you're planning to do is to earn that yield, then you're done. Like all those tokens you have 100% of the value, the yield earning value, as soon as the allocation happens, and you can leave them sit. Frankly, you could leave them in the vesting contract indefinitely.
Yeah.
Right? You don't even have to claim them. You're still earning.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that'll be coming out pretty soon here. So
low gas. I love low gas things. I hate having to claim or do something or stake or whatever. Just more transactions make me. Ain't nobody got money for transactions at 7 Gwei or whatever the price is right now.
Okay, we got a couple questions here in the chat. Is it possible to swap back from SDFXN to FXN after you're fully vested?
Only through liquidity pools. Yeah. So you would claim the SD or CVX FXN, whichever one you decided to do, and you would you'd have to swap that back through whatever liquidity is available at that time in secondary markets. So it's a one-way conversion for going in. And there's slippage is high right now, low in SDFXN, FXN. Yes, that is correct, Cyril. And yes, there is now. I believe now, now Paul may be able to comment on this more, but I think that the liquid wrap tokens, liquidity for them is primarily going to be the concern of the liquid wrapping provider. I'm not sure what our particular plan is on the Aladdin side, but we also want to kind of be conscious of the fact that, like, when we use our resources to incentivize a different protocol's liquid wrapper, you kind of have to incentivize all of them in order to make it fair, right? Rather than picking favorites. And really, the liquid wrapper liquidity is down to, I think, primarily the protocol providing that wrapper. And frankly, that should be a consideration for who you choose for your liquid wrapper provider, right?
I do believe that StakeDAO did incentivize the pool this Epic.
With their votes, yeah. I think that so. I don't want to make any claim on StakeDAO's behalf, but I believe that that they are planning to allocate some emissions to that pool.
Yeah, I think they're committed.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, committed to use half of the profit they make from that wrapper to bribe for the pool. That's what they said.
Oh, is that what they said? Okay, cool. All right.
Oh, wow. Well, that's really good. I do know that Convex did bribe the pool,
CVX?
The CVX FXN pool this epoch as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. And like I say, it's not that we don't care about that liquidity, but it's just as the person providing the token versus the person providing the liquid wrapper, or the organization providing the liquid wrapper, we want to kind of make sure that we're not spending, our community resources on theirs, unless we decide as a community to kind of support maybe all of them, or it's slightly more complicated than just choosing to do it. Will the team allocate bribes for Convex to incentivize FXN, CVFXN, LP? Again, I think that the CVXFN LP is going to be primarily, you see Convex has been bribing it already. So I do not think that we are bribing. Yeah, okay, you answered already.
All right, we're good.
We're not bribing that one, but they are.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, so that's cool. We got vesting, we've got liquid wrappers. I talked about how to use this like booster program lock while you're vesting, and we'll, once the UI is released for that and the contract is released, like, as always, nothing for Aladdin goes to mainnet without audit. And the more, the longer our contracts stand, and the more stuff that our auditors find, we use this. We use this group called SecBit that we've actually developed a really great relationship with. They have been, we're very, very impressed with them, and they've helped us a lot. So big kudos to SecBit, but they are our primary auditor, and they reviewing everything before we go to mainnet, as always.
Yeah, and we'll obviously send out tweets, announcements in the Discord once that's available. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Probably some fancy screenshots, maybe an animated GIF to make it clear that we're not very young. I'm told that.
How do you do,
kids,
fellow DeFi kids?
Yeah, the music band shirt in that meme is my favorite thing.
Isn't that great?
I gotta get one of those. Music band.
Okay.
Okay, bridging. Let's talk about bridging. We've got stuff to talk about here.
We've got a very exciting announcement here, and so
go
ahead, Kruger.
No. I want to hear you say it because I love your
All
voice.
right, we're doing it. We are going to Arbitrum and BNB
and
It's
BNB.
happening.
That's right.
That's right.
And we're
via
going
layer 0.
That's right. Yeah, layer 0. And so the idea, step 1 here with going multi-chain is layer 0 bridging. And we are going with FETH, we're going with XETH, and we're going with FXN.
Heck yeah,
Okay.
baby.
So these are going to be the bridging contracts are actually deployed. And if you check out the F of X website, you will find a fancy new tab along the top called Bridge. And you can go to bridge.aladdin.club. Which is the Aladdin bridge powered by layer 0, and bridging happens.
This is the I want to know if somebody has like trouble reading this UI. This is the clearest UI I think I've ever seen for
From,
bridge.
To, and transfer.
That's right.
It makes it's clean. It's
clean, baby. It's slick.
I wouldn't say it's beautiful, but I would say it's clear. Maybe it's not fair for me to be criticizing.
It's the Toyota Corolla of bridging UIs.
I drove a Corolla for so long, just so reliable. You love it. You love to
Yeah,
see it.
exactly.
When deployment, Doc Muscle asks, the answer is deployed. We are so the contracts, I believe, are fully deployed. We've got a tweet thread in the barrel ready to drop to Twitter. But I mean, Paul, do you want to, or Charlene, I believe that like we are 100% live on both these chains right now. Is that right?
Yeah. So you can bridge already on both Binance Chain
Love
and
it.
Arbitrum if you want.
Yeah. So
Love
just
it.
sort of a caveat there. Just you can bridge those tokens. You just have to remember that like there's no official liquidity pools or anything like
Not
that
yet.
have been launched. Yeah.
That's right. So
you can get over there and you can kind of do whatever you want, but just remember
I think you want to be able to say first, right? I think
Right.
that's what the kids like. So you get over there and then you go on to Shitter or Twitter or X or whatever it's called, and you say first. And then it's on chain forever and you can brag about it to your grandchildren. So that's okay. So the bridge, so that we're bridging those tokens, minting and redeeming still exclusively on mainnet. We have talked in the past about a copy paste F of X. I say copy paste, like about deploying a separately backed, like a separate reserve F of X to sidechains to completely eliminate bridge risk, and that's definitely something we're still thinking about. That's not what this is, though, just to be clear. These are mainnet FETH and XETH tokens that are layer 0 bridged. And so you just need to be aware of like, there's going to be a separate liquidity pool on whichever, Arbitrum or BNB that you're working with, and the price on those other chains can vary because of the liquidity can vary and the trading on those chains can vary. In theory, it should all be, with a perfectly efficient market, arbitrage should keep everything perfectly in line. But as everybody knows, when liquidity is low, you can't always count on that perfectly. So, use at your own risk, as everything in DeFi is. But just want to be clear about what this is and what it isn't. So minting and redeeming only on mainnet. The website interface is live, and liquidity is coming next week.
Yeah, so we're really excited about it. Layer Zero has been a really big help in getting this all set up. So we will.
Yeah, and from what I hear from the technical team, their infrastructure is awesome, and that it's and with something complex like bridging, you need the infrastructure to be really clear and easy to use in order to have confidence, right? Like if there's a million foot guns built into it, it's scarier, right? So kudos to Layer Zero for their great infrastructure, and watch out for FFX stuff. By the way, so Paul and I were working yesterday on images for the tweet thread, and you can when you guys see it, we've got just AI images, and so we have a very cool one. I think that you're going to go, and it's like the tokens are getting off a plane and the crowds are adoring them, and so it's pretty cool. But I got to show you guys this thing. I was working yesterday on on prompting for these, and so I said, what would be another thing we could do is we could have a picture of the these guys, these famous whatevers, getting off the plane, and it could be like a newspaper, like an old timey newspaper, from how they used to do in the movies, like the newspaper would spin and then you'd see the
Yeah, we have the perfect new term for it.
Okay, so here's, I got to show you this. I'm going to drop an image. So this is what DALL-E gave me when I asked for that, and I realized that this with so text is still not the strength of AI image generation.
Our bum rum.
And I think from this point on, I hope that this doesn't upset the Arbitrum guys, but I don't think I'm going to be able to say anything other than Arbum rum.
Friendtech lands on Arbum
FT
rum.
land on Arbum rum. And I am so excited to be deploying to Arbum rum. And I hope, it's
Now you put that prompt in totally sober? Is that you're blaming this on the AI?
All I'm saying is this is what the AI gave me back.
Okay, that's pretty great.
So yeah, I'm also I looked at the name of the newspaper, and I'm trying to decode the name of this newspaper, and I kind of want to make an internal Aladdin newspaper called Anfulf Airpiths.
Is that the name of the new A-Team newsletter? We'll just call it that now.
Oh, just yeah, exactly. Just Gothic lettering that is just indecipherable should be the name of the newsletter. Oh, that is too good.
Oh boy. Fun with AI. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
I love it. It is really cool. It's a lot of fun. I'm a lot better at, I think, not to say that I'm good at it, but I'm a lot better at coming up with concepts for images than actually any kind of implementation. I draw like a 3-year-old. Yeah, Cody. Yeah, I know. The arms are weird. It looks like if you see, you'll be able to find more than enough of those in when you see the image that we have on the tweet thread. It's whatever. I'm gonna put it in here just because you guys you get the sneak peek on everything in the Aladdin community call. So that's the one that we're
the AI that figures out hands is really going to be the next $1 trillion company.
Yeah. The hands are better than they used to be. They
That's
used
true,
to be max power
have
creepy,
that.
Slender Man kind of bullshit going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
very
still,
cool.
and I think Midjourney is better than DALL-E on that on hands, especially.
Yeah.
Certain
but-
things, yeah. I saw an interesting thread, not to derail that, like compared them all for different use cases.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Midjourney
Which
is
I'm
like
sure was
really good for
full vibe.
photorealistic stuff, especially.
Yeah.
I read that too. But
I mean,
anyway,
the fact that they're even as good as they are is like pretty impressive.
it's mind blowing.
Anyway.
It's absolutely mind blowing. Like just yeah. And the thing is that for me, like these images, they just need to be like for example, look at the airplane here. How many tail fins or like wing fins does this airplane need? But
It just, you know.
but all you're
Good
trying to do
point.
is give an impression, like a vibe, right?
Yeah,
And you don't look too closely
it's
at it.
great at getting the vibes.
Yeah. Like for example, the door. Look at the door to the plane. That's not
Yeah,
how
I've seen
plane
that
doors
too.
work. That's not even close.
Look at beneath the stairs is like another jumbled stairs.
I mean, maybe that's yeah, exactly. There's like a round door. It's
Anyway.
just
Okay,
Vibes,
we
yeah.
gotta. We're
Perfect.
going
Okay.
off rails here.
I'm derailing. I promised I would, didn't I? I promised I would. All right. Okay,
Oh,
what else?
boy.
Next, our friend Cyril's online, and I gotta say, 3 cheers for Cyril because
Yeah,
FETH
definitely.
and XETH are on Paraswap now. So the tokens are integrated. They are not, if I understand correctly, Cyril, they are not yet going through the native protocol. They're going through liquidity, but they are swappable on Paraswap, listed on Paraswap. Awesome. Incredible.
very
very
cool.
important, very important first step. You know, obviously the holy grail is integrating with the mint and redeem functions in the native protocol so that people can swap in and out without slippage. And that is a huge unlock. As we've talked about other weeks, that's a huge unlock for F of X because building that huge liquidity required to have like low slippage from mainnet swaps should in principle be unnecessary for a protocol like F of X when you can mint and redeem freely, virtually without limit, right? Like obviously within the limits of the collateral ratio for the protocol. But in any case, getting those aggregators to get that mint and redeem is huge. But the first step is getting those tokens listed, and it's arguably the biggest step, getting them in there so that people see that like can swap through those aggregators. We can start pointing people to aggregators as the best way to swap. And then once we can integrate that mint redeem on the back end, it just kind of everything clicks into place. So amazing work, Cyril. Thank you so much
Really
for everything
cool.
that you do. And check out FETH and XETH swapping on Paraswap. Everybody go check it out. Very
Yeah.
cool. Last issue for F of X. Revenue still accumulating for VEFXN. Last week we announced that we had just crossed the 30 ST ETH mark. That was slightly incorrect. We are close. We were only off by a few ETH, but there was like we're still hammering out the details of just getting the UI to report like how we're reporting that revenue and everything else. I can ask Charlene to give you some specifics, but the long story short here is basically we are more or less on track with what we said last week, but we were off slightly. We are around 30 ETH, possibly over now already. Charlene, is that correct? Charlene is not online right now. She's preparing her. If she's like me, she's sitting in the audience writing her her slides for her talk.
She's got a lot of macro.
Sorry. The button is not working properly. Yeah, we're just heading into 30 ETH. I think we are just over 29 ETH
Okay.
by now.
So the great thing about this is that we can celebrate our 30 ETH of revenue all over again.
Yeah, we had our
in
good
just a day or
practice
two.
celebration.
We had a good practice celebration, and now we can do the real one properly. Right?
Right.
Practice
Correct.
makes perfect.
That's right.
Okay, a question may have been mentioned in Discord, but when will the revenue be distributed to CVX, FXN stakers? So CVX FXN, of course, represents locked VEFXN, and so that's a convex thing. How that revenue trickles through. I think that it streams through in the same way that they do for Curve, but that is, I think that's a detail that Convex will have to answer. I wouldn't want to speak for them.
Yeah, I think in terms of the staked ETH revenue, one of the things that we're finishing up is a audit for the wrapper for the staked ETH that comes out in the revenue, and so
That's right.
What-
We
once
have
that's
to
finalized.
we have to Convex and Staked DAO both, I believe, have basically said like the staked ETH rebasing token, and it's just a nightmare to work with that on the back end. And so we will be distributing the revenue from FFX's wrapped staked ETH, and there's a minor bit of code that has to be audited.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can see. Oh, and Arrow, Paul has answered your question in the Discord. You can check out the accrued revenue on the lock page, but we do not yet have a Dune dashboard for it. Hey, anybody in the community that likes making Dune dashboards,
Now's
great
your chance.
opportunity. We should
Yeah.
we should ping Marco V. He made awesome ones for Clever. Maybe he wants to do an FFX one as well.
Yeah, those are much appreciated. I use those things all the time. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love it. I love it.
huge booster opportunity.
And that's okay. That you see, I'm trying to rush now. K-Mets, you got me all. You got me all worried now that I'm behind, but we're not. We're fine. We're doing fine. It's only 10. It's only
We're
half
okay.
past. But that's FFX, I think, right?
Yeah, we got it, baby.
So yeah, a lot of awesome news there, and keep on keeping on. As always, we've got irons in the fire behind the scenes, stuff for you to stuff to share soon. Sorry. Stand by.
Oh, we'll be sending out some info about the harvesters for FXN ETH and CVX FXN. So those will be
For
going live
concentrator.
here.
Yeah.
For concentrator. Those will be going live tonight.
I'm
Well,
not sure
tonight.
whether will a reward start streaming tonight?
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether we want to talk about that under concentrator or under FFX, but yes, just to be clear, check out the you're gonna have to check out the concentrator harvesters and see, and maybe you want to farm some FXN related tokens.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
So yeah, and I think it's just the Stake DAO FXN. So I know that we've got FXN ETH and CVX FXN harvesters. I'm not sure what the story is with the Stake DAO. If they have reward streaming, we will probably have that up as well. So 10 hours from now, set your timers, because 10 hours from now, that's when we should be able to get our first peek at the APR on the concentrator website, and we usually try to tweet that out.
Yes. Very exciting. All right. Well,
Cool.
Moving right along to
Let's take
Clever.
Let's take
Or
a little
no.
detour into Clever.
Oh,
Yeah. A little detour. We got a Harvest Round 55 is in the books. I think we tweeted out the stats like we usually do from this Harvest Round. Another smooth sailing Harvest Round. I mean, if like me, you're a Clever user, then you can pop by and you can see the burn rates jumped, and you can, all that fun stuff is going on. Clever ticking along nicely. And I think we were going to mention, just kind of like as a by the by for Clever, that the growth initiative that we talked about, I think a month or two ago, where we were drastically cutting back Clev emissions, using Aladdin resources to support liquidity rather than Clev token emissions and bribing, which end up sort of just being like sell pressure into the market. That is still ongoing. That support is still in place. And yeah, I mean, it's like when you're playing these kinds of games with tokens, obviously, like, Clever, the system requires the Clever token to have a certain amount of like stable value in the market, but we don't get to control that value. All we can do is we can work with the levers that we have, and we can control things like, token emission, and we control things like, like amounts suddenly coming into the market, right? Which we have done through the Clever booster program, vesting, stretching that vesting out. So
very exciting to see that. So see that come to fruition, and if you've been following along on the bribe rounds, I mean, you're just seeing a lot of. There's not a whole lot of native tokens for the Aladdin products going out into the bribe rounds. It's pretty cool to see that they're like sustaining themselves from their revenue. So very cool.
Well, and when you're when you're kicking and screaming and fighting to launch stuff into a bear market, this is the game that you play, right?
Boy,
Like you
no
know that
kidding.
there's not going to be and frankly, I almost prefer it. There's not going to be the like chaos and hype and insanity of like, especially like, new people who don't really even know how crypto works and all that kind of stuff. So, we kind of we bide our time in the slower markets. We set things up so that, the products themselves and the emissions that they produce are sustainable and will work in any market condition.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. That's pretty much clever for this week.
That is slight detour. Drello asking, is there going to be an airdrop for community members? So the airdrop for FXN has already been, it's already been sorted out. The particular, I wouldn't say calculated, but like we've already publicly announced who is in the airdrop and who is not. So basically, the airdrop is going primarily to users of FXN within the first 1,000 ETH. So for like the first cap when we launched on mainnet, we put a 1,000 ETH cap in place, and so the slightly off track here. So the anybody who deposited within that first 1,000, and I mean, I would expect it'll be proportional to the size of your deposit. Basically, that's an Aladdin sort of policy to try to compensate early users who take greater risk by deploying funds into, untested, unproven contracts when we first deploy them. We are also going to be including people who addresses that interacted with our testnet. And so if you did any testnet transactions for us, we were on 2 different testnets. We were on Falcon, and I think, were we on Goerli before that?
On Sepolia.
Sepolia, right. And we were on Sepolia before that. So, I think we've got lists of all the addresses who helped us out with testing prior to mainnet deployment. And I think we're going to include them as well. And then there's a few bits and pieces as well, allocations for other like Aladdin ecosystem token holders. So, but the details here are that there's nothing to do now to get yourself into the airdrop. Everything that you could have done to get into the airdrop is all that ship has sailed. So you're either in or you're not based on that.
Yeah, and so I mean, if you're looking to sort of like earn, FXN tokens, I mean, really one of the best ways, the
only way, straight up only way
is basically
it's
the booster program. So,
Yeah.
if that's, we encourage everybody to, to help out and get out there and bang the drum. And it's as simple as just creating content and participating in the community. So,
well, and also, like, again, we want to, ideally, that booster program, we want to reward people who really can get the message as far as possible. And so if you've got clever ideas or, if you can make amazing content that can travel farther, then, hopefully you get recognized better for it. And certainly when we're voting on the team, we're always trying to look for that kind of stuff and reward people that way. Arrow asked a question. Looks like Paul's answered. So the airdrop will be FXN. You can't actually transfer VEFXN. That's kind of the point. It's not transferable. So, and the amount of FXN that gets airdropped is defined in FXN terms, not USD terms. So the amount of FXN distributed in the airdrop is predefined, and the only question is exactly how it is going to be allocated between all of the buying addresses, and that is something that we will finalize in the future. We will probably not be posting like a detailed, precise calculation for what everything is worth. But again, as with airdrops, it's kind of free tokens, so hopefully nobody gets too bent out of shape about it.
okay.
Can you make a song for the booster program? Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I would suggest that that could be the best kind of boosting. That could be the best kind of boosting that exists. Like that.
Boy,
that's
I like. Yeah, I'm like really intrigued. I'm curious what like a booster program song would sound like. Wow.
Exactly. I mean, do you know what? We don't talk about this much, but like poetry would count. I mean, like if you've got haikus
Interpretive
deep into your
dance.
shoes. Oh, interpretive dance would be amazing. Although that kind of shades into the TikTok realm, which I don't know that we've got a lot of TikTok users in our user base right now.
Well, it's time to branch out, isn't it?
See the earlier comment about animated GIFs. By the way, you can pry my animated GIFs from my cold dead fingers. I'm never stopping. I don't care how uncool they become. It's just they're just too good. They're too good.
They're pretty great.
Okay, so let's move on, shall we? Concentrator.
Yeah, let's do it.
We've got a big
Concentrator.
one. It's a parade of big announcements today. Concentrator
Yes.
has got a new compounder launching tomorrow.
Woohoo!
Tomorrow, K-Mets.
Yes.
It's ACVX. It is a compounder into single staked CVX on convex. And
Yes.
so
Awesome.
yeah, and this is it's I think right now that staking APR on convex is 19, almost 19%. That pushes well over 20 for the APY that we expect, I think, from ACVX. And so it's different than anything else in our compounders. I mean, obviously, the main CVX related compounder that we have right now is our ABC. That's the concentrator one that utilizes Clever's furnace, and it's very complex. Also very high yield, but
Yeah.
very complex. And this is the ACVX one will have the benefit of being exclusively CVX backed, as compared to the ABC CVX, where you have like the Clev CVX and
Mixture,
CVX,
yeah.
right? So there's like a peg aspect to your exposure there, whereas ACVX is purely CVX. It represents single staking CVX with yield coming directly from convex. And the question that we are going to have for the community is, what harvesters do you want to see compounding into ACVX? If you've got, if ACVX speaks to you, then please do let us know what kind of harvesters you think would be the best ones to be concentrating into ACVX. And, we'll spin them up and we'll see if the TVL comes, right?
Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited for this one. This one is I mean, stake CVX itself is like a pretty big deal, and then to be able to just like
auto compound it,
auto compound into, oh man.
And here's the thing, I love ABC CVX. Like it is kind of a work of art, right? Like it's this AM, it's like a pseudo AMO backed. It's managing the, it's allocating between the liquidity pool of Clev CVX and the furnace, and it's using the whole machinery of the furnace. It simplifies a crazy complicated strategy into something very simple at a high APR. But ABC CVX is not gas, I say efficient. It's efficient for what it's doing, but it's like high gas. It is a gas intensive process.
Yeah, it's got a few transactions going on behind the scenes.
There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and so and unwinding it is, again, because it's backed by a combination of LPs and pure Clev, which is each of them are in different spots. So ACVX has the benefit of being simpler, lower APR, but also lower gas. And so maybe, again, I'm always champion the little guy, not because I am a little guy. I'm a big deal, really big deal, really rich. But if I weren't, then I'd be. But yeah, this is good for people who do not like gas intensive transactions on mainnet. So that's a nice option.
Kruger, when you were in school, did the teacher be like, all right, the last 10 minutes of class is basically the Kruger show. You get to go Kruger. You get to.
No, I was always chastised for speaking too much. So they never gave me.
They never gave me the spotlight.
Oh,
undeserved.
My third grade teacher, who was like a known ball buster at the school. My parents tell this story how they said and she was like, she'd been teaching at the school for so long, she also taught my mother. And she had been like the scary teacher at the school since then. And she sat down in this parent-teacher interview with my parents, and she said, usually there is some question as to who is in charge of the class, whether it be him or me. And apparently my parents had a difficult time keeping a straight face, because she could not imagine a world where the children were not scared of her. And I just said, she said, this is the only student who has ever stood up in my class and told me I am wrong.
Okay. Well, you've been consistent throughout your life. Just a very
it's built in.
Okay, well,
Shall we? Okay, so
let's do it.
ACVX, that's cute. Or cute. That's cool. It's not cute. Well, maybe it's cute. It's a little
It
cute.
is pretty cute.
What's next? Let's talk about ASD Curve.
Yeah.
Is it the elephant in the room in the concentrator room?
Ooh, well done, sir. Yeah, it is the
Because
elephant in the room.
It is the elephant in the room. Like, holy cow, in terms of like AUM, like in terms of we are over 11 million SD Curve locked in the ASD Curve compounder, and the APY over 40% still. Guys, this is cool.
Yeah, it's I mean, man, what a great product, and really, Staked Out just thinks the world of it too. So it's been
Well,
really
and
a
we think the world
fantastic
of them
product.
because like
Yeah.
the SD Curve, you've got so many curve options. ASD Curve really takes SD Curve, which has got its own unique strengths, and kind of just bumps it up to being like the best option in my view. So ASD Curve, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about here, but this is going to be the ASD Curve show for a couple of minutes.
Mhm.
Okay, so first of all, ASD Curve is on Polygon. All right, we've got a pool on Polygon. There is liquidity there already. I think we talked about this last week. There is some liquidity in place already. There is a gauge vote coming soon for ASD Curve and Curve on Polygon. So all you Curve voters or Convex holders or whatever, we're going to tweet about that. Jump on there and support that pool so that we can get that cross-chain ASD Curve going. And again, ASD Curve is another one of those amazing, like, it's continuously redeemable for more and more and more on mainnet. And so again, if the arbitrage, if we get enough liquidity and the arbitrage is worthwhile and it's happening regularly, it's one of those things I've talked about many times, the ability to earn mainnet yields completely from without touching mainnet, right? Really pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So
And now we've got, sorry, my throat's starting to hurt. I get that sense I've talked too much. Do you want to take over the next couple of points?
he's losing power, folks. So
Oh, I'm not. I'm just starting to feel like I'm stomping on you here. So go.
Nah. Okay, so we've got ASD Curve on Polygon, which is pretty cool. So there's some liquidity there. You can swap between ASD, CRV, and CRV. So like Kruger was saying, there will be a gauge vote soon to incentivize that pool. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll let you know about that. The other big thing is that ASD CRV is now fully liquid. So what does this mean? Well, it basically means that you can now participate in SD CRV votes like you would any other. And so
Hold on a second. No, there's two different things. This is two different things, right?
Okay.
Like the full liquidity, because there used to be an exit queue on ASD Curve.
Oh, yes.
That's the so in the interest of moving ASD Curve into a fully into being like the best way to hold and earn on Curve, we have made it fully liquid. We have eliminated the withdrawal queue. You can now come in and out.
I'm getting an update that we're a little bit ahead of ourselves. That that's in the pipeline. That's in the pipeline. So
crap.
So that's
listen,
on me. And, yeah,
that's on us. Yeah, we blew it.
But
it's coming. It's coming. And
Yeah.
when it's fully liquid, there's obviously some technical. Sorry, we messed up our agenda. There's obviously some technical stuff to sort out there. But holy cow, guys, it's coming.
Yeah.
But what I think is here now, not the full liquidity that is coming, but what is here now is that we are going to reflect through voting from ASD Curve holders to SD Curve. So ASD Curve holders are going to be able to exercise their non-gauge governance power. Remember, the gauge governance power is automatically allocated for maximum bribe yield, right? That's where the yield comes from. But now your non-gauge power for any Curve votes that are for any non-gauge Curve votes, including, for example, the upcoming one on ASD Curve on Polygon, you can use your ASD Curve to vote for that. All right. Pretty pretty awesome stuff. And by the way, the other amazing thing about this is that this becomes important for people who are invested in the Curve ecosystem. And one of those people, K-Mets, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's called Michael. And we are just, I mean, you don't want to brag too much, but what a validating moment when Michael Egorov, the founder, the creator of Curve, and still the King Llama, he's got huge deposits, big deposits with ASD Curve. We tweeted about it, maybe indiscreetly, but it was coming from his coming from his public address. And this is
it's on the
blockchain.
blockchain. It's all out there.
It's on the blockchain. It's all out there. But yeah, we couldn't help it. We couldn't help it but celebrate a little bit. Like that's when you know that you've got something that is powerful and useful, right? There's no, when
especially he sees the value in it, right?
Well,
I mean, that's kind of the big thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the other thing is that ASD CRV is basically taking in some bribe income now. So,
yeah, well, that's the standard. So I think this is just the most recent harvest. You can see we've got in case I don't know if we want to share the link or not, but you can see the bribe harvest as the most recent batch of bribes were harvested and distributed. 82,200 SD Curve in this transaction as we as the ASD Curve machinery ticks along.
Yeah.
So check it out. APYs are huge. I mean, and your VE-SDT delegation yield really high too, right? Almost 33%. So that's how you get, and that's at 1.8 million already in the total VE-SDT delegated to the ASD Curve vault. So
yeah,
great success story and a great product. And check it out. As always, we are happy to have you kick the tires and enjoy what we built.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, that's pretty much Concentrator.
Yep.
And for just sort of the Aladdin side, we just kind of have like some general A-team stuff. Booster games, man, this I was hopeful we would have like one volunteer. I was like, that would be a success. And I hope it's somebody that wants to do it. And so definitely Crypto Profit and Escape Wagey, thanks for playing, guys. And it actually turned out to be for both of them like kind of especially for Crypto Profit, like a pretty profitable deal, pretty profitable trade. So very cool to do that. And I think the Escaped Wagey, he's got like some sort of like strategy where he's gonna he's already committed to bailing on 50% of his
is that right?
Income. Yeah. So
I mean, I need to I'm gonna have to, we'll see. We need to maybe he needs competition. Maybe I should get in there with my allocation.
Yeah, and well, it's going to affect your voting because now, like, if you vote for him, you're like, well, that's like more back for me if I vote for him. So it's like the whole it's the whole thing. So
it's a circle of life, isn't it?
That's exactly. It's the new flywheel, baby.
It's what that song is about.
Yes.
Very cool. Yeah, the booster games. So that's that's a really cool. You know what? I love to see just stuff like that. Just kind of like wacky ideas, throw it against the wall, see what happens, and let's keep it. I don't know, man. I think we should keep it up.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do it as long as people are interested in it. So we're very excited for it. It benefits everybody, really. So, and then we had the giveaway for the coffee mug. So Escape Wagey, congratulations on that.
Speaking of Escaped Wagey, holy cow, this guy's got horseshoes this week. I guess it wasn't. He volunteered for the booster game, so that was
he did volunteer.
A
yes.
victory.
But he's definitely been
the
in
coffee mug was a victory.
He won like all of them. I didn't realize like
no,
he gave all of them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, if you want to buy a coffee mug from Escape Wagey, you can reach out to him.
Yeah, those are going on a shelf somewhere, and then I'm gonna see that on eBay for $1 million one year, and I'm gonna think, you know what? I should have tried harder to game that contest so that I could have won.
So we'll be having another giveaway next month. So that one's apparently like Stake DAO themed with according to Meta. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Going to be cool. And then we've got a Twitter space today at 7 p.m. UTC with the A-team. So come hang out with us, and we'll just chit chat about all things DeFi and we welcome anybody to come and chat on this one. So
Oh, awesome. Yeah, check out the space. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. That's all we got, baby.
Yeah, that's it. And we've left Charlene a luxurious
Generous.
4 minutes, a generous 4 minutes. Did we forget to ask her at the top of the call whether she has a lot of content? Because I feel like we're gonna.
I don't know.
I'm going to have a short one for today.
Oh,
Okay.
good. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, we need to. Yeah, we should really plan to ask that question at the top of the hour.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's kick this off. There are a few key messages on macro for this week. I think the first one is unlikely to have more rate hike after around Fed official talks. Even though the September inflation came out slightly higher than consensus, it was 3.7% versus 3.6% for consensus. Core inflation was in line with market forecast exactly. And even in just Janet Yellen's latest interview, she said her base case is U.S. economy is likely to have a softer landing, but it is not an absolutely sure thing. So what she said in plain English, you really need to do some translation, right, on what these government officials mean. So things look good, but yeah, there's some uncertainty there. And I think the market response on this, like the market expectation on Fed movement in future month shows that people see this as official stance, probably not best not to put more pressure on the economy. Things not great 100%. And secondly, just given the situation for Israel and Palestine, there is definitely fear in the market, right? And again, safe haven assets have been performing well against the risky asset. It's always very interesting to observe how markets respond to important events. So let's see how different asset classes responded when the situation in Israel-Gaza got a bit out of control last Friday, and the market was in panic mode. Gold went up 3%, silver up 4%. Dollar index held up well, went up slightly by 0.3%. 10-year U.S. Treasury bond yield went up 2.4%. That means the bond traded down. And 2-year Treasury bond yield up 1.25%. So the short end Treasury bond traded down as well. S&P 500 index went down 1%. Nasdaq index down 1%. Oil price went up over 4%. Bitcoin down 2%, Ethereum down 2%. So all the TradFi asset classes behave the way they are supposed to, right? Again, crypto performed more like a risky asset against our wish at critical moment. Of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum caught up for a very short-lived bull market on back of fake ETF news this week as a revenge.
That was an amazing 10 minutes.
Yeah, and finally, just oil price is important one to watch out for right now, right? So it's the most effective indicator of how situation in the Middle East develops. Oil has very interesting demand and supply dynamics. Its supply is basically controlled by the OPEC countries and Russia, right? And when demand is pretty much stable and supply can be controlled, that means price can be easily manipulated. We don't want to comment on who is right or wrong, right? On moral grounds, it has been long-standing battle between the two camps. We are only focused on economic side of things, right? So when the old world doesn't grow, when there's no growth, it becomes a zero-sum game, right? And it's more cruel than ever. And Gaza is only the trigger point. And high oil price does help a lot of countries to pay their bills. Right? Well, the top oil consuming countries obviously don't want to see this, as their people have been struggling under high inflationary environment. Right? Oil is just very important mover on inflation numbers. And yeah, I've been trying to find theory, right, that help me to get away with many wrong statements I made here. But you guys worked me very hard this week, so I haven't really got time to do that. Maybe we can leave this to next time. And that's it for this week.
Wow. All right.
Good update, Charlene.
As always, there's so much going on. It's like, how do you track it all? This is crazy.
Yeah, I've been following the bond market just because I've just been very curious about it, and it is like like the US 30-year is now over 5%. Like that is just nuts. Like you watch these long-term treasuries and they are just falling in price like off a cliff. It's crazy. So going to be some crazy times here soon. Who knows? All right. Well, guys, I think that's about all we've got for this week. So we appreciate everybody jumping in. You got any more questions, please hop in the Discord, reach out to us. Of course, any other updates that we have or news, we will, of course, put it out on Twitter and in the announcement channels on Discord. So we appreciate you guys, and thanks for jumping in this morning.
Thanks for coming in, and same time, same place next week. We're shoveling the shit, and also, given the important news, and you have to take one with the other. It's the only way we operate.
That's right. It's mandatory. It's mandatory. It's the community call invariant equation. Exactly.
Yeah, except that it should add up to an hour, and it never does because we're
kind of ballparking it. So
yeah. We're ballpark. Exactly.
It's a TWAP. It's a TWAP. There you go.
It's a TWAP. Yeah. This is. You could come here for your TWAP bullshit as well as your TWAP alpha.
Yeah.
We dole them both out in equal amounts. They're vested over the hour. So
yes, exactly. All right, I'm sure you guys are done with us. You guys have a great rest
have
of your
a great week. I'm very sorry on behalf of K-Mets and I. So
thank you guys. Take care.
Yeah,
all
take
right,
care.
thanks.
See you.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye for now.
Thank you, guys.